Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Neovation eLearning Content Libraries. I'm Susan Harrell. I'll be stick handling all of the questions, but I'd like to introduce you to today's presenter, Mansel Belyea. So over to you, Mansel.
Hey, thanks, Susan. Appreciate it. And hey, everyone. Welcome to our latest Hidden Gems webinar presented by Neovation. I'm Mansel Belyea, as Susan mentioned. I'm really excited to have all you here with us today. At Neovation, our mission is simple. It's empowering organizations with knowledge. We want you to succeed by providing better online training and making knowledge operations really effective. Today, we're going to talk about something super cool in the world of online learning, e-learning content libraries. These libraries are like treasure troves of valuable information and resources. In our fast-paced digital world, both organizations and individuals alike are always looking for ways to boost their knowledge and skills efficiently. That's where content libraries can come in. They're amazing solutions that offer a wide range of courses and resources to cater to your learning and development needs and requirements. During this webinar, we're going to take a deep dive into these solutions and explore the incredible potential they hold for big organizations and individual learners alike. We'll cover everything from exactly what a content library is to the different types of courses available, how they're presented, pricing models, and a lot more. So once again, thank you all for joining us today. And let's kick this off. Just a few housekeeping items. The presentation itself is going to run between 40 and 45 minutes. We're going to capture all of your questions through the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. It's almost to the middle. And please post those. We'll try to get to those questions towards the end of the presentation. However, we have received a number of pre-questions issued by you, and we have incorporated those into the presentation toward the end. Also like to mention that we're going to submit a feedback survey at the end of the presentation. So once I end the presentation itself and stop the webinar, something will pop up for you to respond to. We ask everyone to respond to this. Please take your feedback extremely seriously, and it helps us kind of edit what we do moving forward. As well, it helps us decide what is the next webinar we're going to present, whether it's a Hidden Gems or a demystifying webinar. So thank you very much. So content libraries are like special platforms that you can order from, just like you would order from Netflix or Spotify. But instead of music, these libraries offer a bunch of pre-built online courses created by subject matter experts in a wide variety of different categories. It's like having a huge directory of courses right at your fingertips. When you subscribe to these libraries, you get to choose which courses you want to offer, and it's a flexible way to expand your training program without having to create everything from scratch. You can pick and choose the courses that best fit your needs. There's a wide variety and range of courses that cater to different learning needs and skill development. In the next few slides, I'm going to explain a few of these courses, specifically leadership, health and safety, and several more. Leadership training is all about helping people become better leaders. These courses focus on developing skills and involving really important qualities that leaders need to have. They cover a lot of interesting topics like strategic thinking, decision-making, conflict resolution, team building, and goal setting. The purpose of leadership training is to make sure that individuals have the right abilities and lead teams or organizations successfully. I have a quick example of some leadership training that's available through one of our partners, which is Go Biz Library in this one. And it really highlights some of the courses that you can take through this one particular library. And there's several more I'll go through today. Courses in health and safety are all about keeping people safe in the work environment. These courses teach important knowledge and skills related to occupational health and emergency preparedness. They cover topics like assessing risks, identifying hazards, preventing accidents, following health and safety rules, and what to do in emergencies. And here's another example. This one is actually from Go On. And it kind of walks through everything that this service provider offers. Everything, again, like fire safety, first aid, occupational health and safety. There's a wide range of courses, and this really just scratches the surface of what's available on that particular subject. Hospitality and customer service is very popular. It's specifically designed for people who work in the hospitality industry, like hotels, restaurants, travel agencies, and event management. These courses focus on teaching the importance of customer service and the skills required. They cover things like effective communicating, conflict resolution, and creating a positive experience for customers. The goal is to make sure customers are happy and satisfied, which leads them to coming back and be loyal to your business. Another popular program is basic computer skills and software courses. Now, these aren't really designed to like for CCNA or network fundamentals, but they're really perfect for beginners who want to improve their computer skills. They cover important topics like the software that runs your computer, how to organize and find files, creating and editing documents, creating slideshows, making tables and calculations inside of a spreadsheet, and safely browsing the internet. Basic troubleshooting is another one. So just kind of fixing the common problems inside of your computer without having to go to a higher level tier support. These courses help individuals become really good at the essentials and are important for many jobs and really everyday life. One near and dear to my heart is selling skills. These courses are helpful for people who work in sales and marketing. These courses focus on teaching important skills that can help individuals succeed in their roles. They cover sales techniques like how to sell effectively, building good relationships with your clients, making deals that benefit both sides when in negotiations, addressing common customer concerns, and how to really close a deal with a client. These courses help individuals develop effective sales approaches and improve their performance in sales overall. Now, this is one that I've used a lot, which is productivity and time management training. I've been using Skillsoft since for about 25 years when I first started my career to leverage this course. And they're all about helping you manage your time wisely and be more productive. They cover topics like setting targets to achieve, delegating responsibilities, keeping track of how your time's spent, handling stress in a healthy way, and finding a good balance between work and personal life. These courses provide valuable skills for maximizing productivity, and they help you achieve your personal or even your professional goals. Now, that was a very small subset of the courses that are available. Course providers usually have a variety of courses ranging from just a few dozen. And then there's providers like Go1 and BizLibrary, which I showed you earlier, who have thousands or even tens of thousands, up to 100,000 different courses available. Some course providers focus on topics that are tailored to a particular group of people whose interests are more of a niche. Sometimes their courses may be limited to a specific region, especially when they need to follow certain rules or regulations in that area. Within these course libraries, there are so many options to choose from. It's really helpful to partner with a representative from your course provider to help you pick and choose the courses that best fit your organizational needs, the requirements at that time. These pre-made courses come in different levels of difficulty. Some are easier, some are meant for beginners, while others are more advanced for experts in a particular subset or a subject. Some courses are designed specifically with certain industries in mind, taking into account their unique requirements. A good example of this is a course on hand washing. It would be quite different for someone in the food handling industry, where compared to someone maybe in the chemical or manufacturing plant, the former would focus on preventing spread of germs to customers, while the latter emphasizes dealing with exposure to dangerous chemicals. Training programs usually don't follow a one-size-fits-all approach forever. Every company has employees with different skills and abilities. Even training programs for new hires can be utilized for specific departments, regions, job roles, or skill sets. A good learning content library will have courses for different skill levels and various subjects, so employees can progress and develop at their own pace and quite easily. In a nutshell, course providers have a variety of courses. They can help you find the right courses for your organization, and they make sure we have a wide selection available for the different skill sets and subjects. Another area that's not talked about too much is the format used in e-learning courses. It's really important for a few reasons. First, it's about making sure that everyone can access the course in the way that works best for them. Offering different formats will allow your learners to choose how they want to learn. This makes the course more accessible and helps learners engage with the material. It's all about keeping people interested and excited about the course. If the material is boring or really presented in a dull way, it's harder to stay motivated. So the format used in e-learning courses is really a big deal. It affects how well we can access the material, how well we stay engaged, and how we understand the content. By considering different formats, e-learning courses can be more interactive, inclusive, and effective for all of us. So let's discuss several different formats that are currently out there. And also like to note that the primary format today is video, and we'll cover that a bit. So text-based content is really important in e-learning courses for a number of reasons. First, it's a great way to deliver important knowledge and facts to learners. Text allows for clear explanations of complex ideas in a very concise way. Making sure learners understand the main concepts is crucial. By reading the text, learners can go at their own pace and go back and forth whenever they need to. One advantage to text-based content is that it's versatile. It can be easily translated into different languages so that more people can access the courses. To make the learning experience even better, text-based content is often combined with other media elements, for example, pictures, diagrams, charts, and they add that alongside the text to visually reinforce the information. This helps learners make connections and have a deeper understanding of what they're being taught. So as I mentioned, media elements are a big part of e-learning courses, and they make the learning experience a little more interesting and engaging. Pictures can help us understand the concepts better. They make abstract ideas more visual and easier to grasp. When images are used in the course content, they help visualize complex information and help remember it more easily. Infographics are like little visual summaries. They combine images, icons, and text to present information in a simple and attractive way. They take complicated data or processes and turn them into easy to understand visuals. Infographics make it simple so that you can stay on point and gather the information you need. Videos, as I mentioned earlier, are predominant in a lot of these course libraries, and they're exciting and interactive resource in e-learning courses. They use both visuals and sound to create an immersive learning experience. Videos can show experts explaining concepts, demonstrating practical skills, and giving real-life examples. They're great for showing process, simulations, or role plays. These media elements make learning really more dynamic and enjoyable. They break the monotony of reading. They keep us interested in the content. When material is visually stimulating and presented in different formats, we're more likely to stay engaged and motivate the learners. Animations are a cool media element, often found in e-learning courses. They make learning more exciting and understandable. Animations are great for explaining tricky or abstract ideas. They break down complex information into simple visuals, making it easier for us to understand and remember important points. Animations can show challenging topics step by step, giving it clear and easy to follow. I noticed that Mandeep has their hand up. So there might be a question. If you do have a question, Mandeep, please just throw it in the Q&A and we can certainly respond to that later. Animations are valuable tools in e-learning courses because they help us understand and remember difficult topics, making the learning journey more enjoyable and interactive. With animations, we can easily grasp tricky concepts and deliver a deeper understanding into that specific subject matter. Simulations recreate situations you might encounter in real life. They can be anything from customer interaction, decision-making challenges, and they do this by putting us under a simulated environment. We experience context, difficulties, and consequences of our actions when we use simulations. They get us actively involved in the learning process. We make decisions, solve problems, and use what we learned in practical ways. By participating in simulated activities, we develop and improve our skills, gaining experience and confidence when we want to use that in the real world. Simulated e-learning courses create a safe environment for learning. They make learning active and engaging, boosting our motivation, and help us remember what we've learned. They bridge the gap between theory and practice, helping us develop all the practical skills that we need. Quizzes and assessments are very important in e-learning courses. They allow us to measure the progress and see how well we've understood the course material. They help us check if we've grasped the main concepts of the information. By evaluating our learning. Quizzes and assessments make our learning experience way more complete. They also reinforce learning, provide feedback, and make learning active. They let us track our progress, and they also find areas to improve and enhance our learning experience. When quizzes and assessments are used well, e-learning courses become more robust, more comprehensive, and really give us a great learning journey. Interactive activities encourage learners to actively engage in the course. They provide opportunities for hands-on practice. Learners can apply their knowledge and their skills in a simulated or real-life context. These activities promote learning by requiring learners to interact with the course material itself, making decisions and solving problems, learning a deeper understanding and retaining the information. These activities provide learners the opportunity to explore, experiment, and practice their skills in an interactive and immersive manner. Ultimately, interactive activities enhance the effectiveness and enjoyment of the learning process, leading to better outcomes. And finally, I really enjoy this one. It's the gamification element that we add to learning programs or micro-learning programs. They make learning more fun and exciting, and they motivate us to stay engaged and strive for achievements. By incorporating gamification elements in e-learning courses, they make it more interactive, enjoyable, promote healthy competition amongst peers, and gives us a sense of accomplishment. Badges, leaderboards, and rewards enhance our engagement and help us track progress and create a dynamic learning environment. The gamified approach adds excitement, encourages self-improvement, and keeps us focused on our specific learning goals. So that's all well and good, but really at the end of the day, what are the advantages of using a content library, say over customized content? The first is LMS integration. LMSs act like they're the secret ingredient that makes e-learning libraries run more smoothly inside your organization. The best e-learning libraries have special features that allow them to connect to your learning management system, like SmarterU, using protocols like SCORM or APIs. When this happens, all the training material and progress reports come together in one place. It's like having a superpower to track how well you're doing, starting with your customized onboarding programs to cool courses from other places to help you learn new skills and hands-on work. Getting started quickly is very important in training, so you can jump right into learning adventure as soon as you have the courses uploaded into your LMS. It's all about making things easy for you to access all the content you procured without any delays. With integrated libraries, making a plan for your learning process becomes like a piece of cake. You can create a step-by-step path that takes you to the basics and more advanced stuff. Each course builds on what you've learned before, so you never have to waste time going over the same things. It keeps you engaged and excited about what's coming next. Finding and fixing gaps in your knowledge is crucial and effective for learning. Integrated libraries give you the power to set requirements based on what you've already known. This way, you can get personalized learning plans that match your current level of knowledge. Saving time is also a big deal when it comes to buying and assessing your courses. You can get the courses started and start learning in just a few days, whether you use SCORM integration or courses have their own platforms. Putting them into a training plan makes reporting easier by putting the data in place. And if you connect everything to your HRIS or other systems, everything stays in sync seamlessly. Having a variety of courses to choose from also helps you learn more about your colleagues, what they want and what they're excited to learn about. Some might want to learn about different areas of the organization or different skill sets. Others may want to become managers someday, take management training. When you encourage and help people grow inside of their roles or outside of their roles, it really keeps them happy and motivated to stay within the organization. And it keeps the idea of learning and growing alive for everyone in your organization. Of course, Like everything else, there are some disadvantages to content libraries. While using these types of service comes with a lot of advantages that we just discussed, it's also important to think about the possible downsides. I'm going to talk about 3 common concerns, but there are several more. Describing a content library means spending more money for your organization. Even though these services have a wide variety of courses at a relatively low cost compared to creating custom content, the subscription fees really can accumulate over time. So it's crucial to consider the financial impact and compare it to the benefits and the values of the library for your training program. One drawback of using pre-made courses is that they might not have your organization's unique branding. These courses are usually designed with a generic appearance and may not perfectly match your branding guidelines or your organization's visual identity. This can affect the overall cohesion and consistency of your training materials. However, there are new platforms emerging, such as Neo Skills, that will allow you to customize the pre-built content, and we'll address some of those concerns I just laid out. While these services also aim to cover a very broad range of topics, their courses may not always address highly specialized or niche subjects specific to your organizational needs. They focus on providing a wide range of courses that cater to a large audience. As a result, there might be cases where the available course don't precisely align with what you need specifically as it pertains to the industry, operations, or specific job roles. In such situations, you might need to supplement the library offering with a Neovation custom content engagement or explore alternative training solutions to ensure comprehensive coverage and meet those specific requirements. It's essential to carefully evaluate the potential downsides of these services in relation to the benefits and the objectives of your overall training program. Consider factors such as cost effectiveness, branding needs, and the relevance of the course content. By doing so, you'll be able to determine whether the e-learning content library that you've chosen or looking at is the right fit for your organization's needs. So this is a question that comes up quite often, and I have a couple of different pricing models I'm going to walk you through. I also have some links to show you exactly what I mean. But they do employ, these libraries employ various models to determine the cost of their services. Here's a couple, here's 2. So per learning price. This model is the pricing based on the number of learners who have the access to the content. The library set a specific rate per learner, and the total cost is calculated by multiplying the number of learners against the per learner price. This model is really suitable for organizations with a relatively stable or predictable number of learners. It allows for scalability, and the cost can be adjusted as the number of learners fluctuates. This is an example of that type of payment program or cost program. So as you can see here, the price scales down as the number of users go up. Some of these organizations will also order like course bundles at a reduced price. So you don't actually get the full suite of the library, but you can pick and choose what you want. So it's a pretty good example. Some services also offer pricing based on individual courses. Each course is assigned specific price, and you pay for the courses that you select. This module is basically, or it's quite useful when you have specific training needs or want to have more control of the content you're purchasing. It provides flexibility to choose the courses based on the relevance or the budget. However, if you require access to multiple courses, the cost can really add up quickly. This one right here is Udemy. And I think this outlays what you're looking per course. And it can range from $100 to $25 and anywhere in between. So it's worth noting that pricing models can vary. Those were just 2 examples. Some libraries may offer a combination of these models or even provide customized pricing based on your specific needs. It's essential to carefully review and compare pricing structures that ensure they align with your organization's budget, training needs, and your projected usage. Things we really need to consider when we're talking about content libraries is, and the number one is what we just went through, which is pricing structure. So really ensure you understand how the pricing model works and how that affects your budget. Also, course selection. You need to determine whether the library's offerings align with what you want to do organizationally. Learner count. You need to understand how many people are going to be accessing the content library, what courses they're going to be looking at, and ensure that the information is important. This allows for scalability and budgeting. Another thing you want to do when you're talking to content libraries is talk about bulk purchases or potential discounts. We're working with an organization right now that has a very high attrition rate based on the industry they're in. And we've been able to work with a service provider to allocate 30% additional licenses to the proposal at no additional cost based on the size of the purchase, but also their attrition rate. So it's important to negotiate and look and try to customize what you can. You also want to evaluate the credentials of and the professional experience of the instructors who create their own courses. Ensuring that instructors have the relevant experience is extremely crucial, and the quality and effectiveness of the training is impacted by that experience, obviously. Inquire about the library's update schedule, particularly for topics related to compliance, technology, or health and safety. Regular updates are essential to ensure training aligns with all the current standards. Understand how the library handles updates, determine whether update courses are replacing the old versions or if both versions will still be available. It's important to ensure learners don't lose the progress or credits they've already accumulated when updates are launched. So be sure you ask those questions. You also want to evaluate the user interface and platform provided in the content library. You want to ensure it's user-friendly and enables easy course selection. Autonomy in managing the course content is extremely valuable. You also want to assess the organization's resources, including the capabilities of your in-house team and also the available budget. Consider whether building custom courses in-house, outsourcing course development, or utilizing the eLearning content library aligns best with your specific goals or even your constraints. Be careful in considering these factors. You can make an informed decision on selecting the most suitable eLearning content library just by following these 8 simple processes. So as I mentioned earlier, we had received several questions that came through, and we're going to address those one off here now. And they're pretty good. First question that came in was, how can content libraries help large organizations or international organizations? And there's a lot to this. There's quite a few features. Whoever submitted that question, please feel free to reach out to me, because this really just skims the top of the iceberg. Standardized training is crucial. These services provide a central repository for training materials and courses that can be accessed by employees across different locations and departments. This will ensure consistency in the training content and the delivery, allowing employees to receive the same standardized experience regardless of their geographical location. Large organizations often face challenges in scaling training efforts to accommodate a large workforce. Content libraries offer scalable solutions as they provide a wide range of pre-built courses. These courses can be accessed on demand, enabling organizations to reach out and to thousands or tens of thousands of employees simultaneously without significant logistical constraints. Developing custom training content for large organizations can be time-consuming and costly. These services offer a cost-effective alternative. This eliminates the need for extensive content creation and reduces development costs, especially when compared to developing individualized training programs for each employee. International organizations often require training content in multiple languages to cater to their employees from different regions. Some content libraries offer multilingual support and can provide translated courses to enable organizations to customize content based on their language requirements. This ensures that employees across different countries can access training material in their preferred language. Many content libraries do offer analytics and tracking capabilities, although they do work much better inside of an LMS. This allows organizations to monitor and measure the effectiveness of the training initiatives. This data can help identify areas for improvement, track overall employee progress, and measure the overall impact of the organization's training performance. Overall, content libraries are a good fit for a lot of larger organizations because they're scalable, cost-effective, and they align well with an extensive workforce. They enable organizations to deliver consistent, accessible, and relevant training content to employees across various locations, and they support professional development and contributing to the overall learning success of the company. So this question here, I actually struggled with a bit. Are there free repository content libraries for that are out there for soft skills? And the short answer is yes. I did quite a bit of research on this over the last couple of days. And although there were a number out there, a lot around education from Harvard, MIT, there's a really good one I found, Merlot, but those are all designed towards education. Looking for business or soft skills is a little more challenging, but I did find them. These libraries provide kind of a wide range that covers various topics, and there is no cost associated. The two that I've identified here both allow for uploading to your LMS. So Udemy is a popular online marketplace that offers a wide range of courses. It includes business technology, personal development, and a bunch more. While most courses on Udemy are paid, there are also free courses available. And like I said, they do integrate. So I think this will take us right to the free courses that show. Yeah, there we go. So quite a few here to choose from. I think there's hundreds, to be honest. So you really have to go through it and see what you want. And that's probably the best fit for what I was able to find. Now, there is another one that I want to talk about, which is HubSpot. A lot of people, you may know HubSpot as a CRM, but their academy does offer free courses, but it's more designed for marketing, sales, customer service, and a few other things. This does upload to your LMS as well. They have an API that you can use. And just give you an example. So you sign up for free and you do have access to all these courses. And this question is basically, how can I create learning paths for people? And there's some few easy steps I'm going to walk through that you can take to create learning paths so everyone gets the most out of the training they want. So initially, you really want to assess your learners' needs, understand the goals, the preferences, and any existing knowledge of learners. This can be done through things like surveys, interviews, self-assessment tools. You want to determine specific areas of interest and the desired skills or knowledge they want to acquire. Then you want to explore your content library. Familiarize yourself with the available courses and material in the library. Take note of any topics or categories or difficulty levels of the courses. Identify relevant courses that align with learners' needs and goals. And the third thing is categorize. So organize the courses into different categories and themes based on the subject matter. For example, you can group courses into leadership skills, communication skills, project management, or technical skills. This categorization will help create a structured learning path for your learners. Sequence the courses, determine the order in which the course should be taken to build a logical and progressive learning path. Consider prerequisites, foundational concepts, and skill progression. Start with an introductory or fundamental course before moving into more advanced topics. And then consider the learning objectives. Align the learning objectives of each course with the overall learning goals of learners. Ensure that the selected courses overcome the necessary knowledge and skills to meet the desired outcomes. Customize and personalize. Tailor the learning path to the specific needs of the learners. Consider their time availability, learning preferences, or any constraints they may have. Offer flexibility by allowing learners to choose alternative courses within a given theme or subject area. Provide guidance and recommendations. Present the learning path to learners along with an explanation and recommendations. Highlight the rationale behind each course selection and explain how the courses will contribute to their overall learning journey. provide clear instructions on how to access the courses and any additional resources they may need. And then track progress and adapt, monitor the progress of your learners as they move through the learning path. Use tracking features available in the learning platform or in your LMS, and rate and assess the engagements. Adjust the learning path as you need to based on learners' feedback, their performance, or maybe changing goals. Provide ongoing support to learners throughout the learning journey, offer guidance, answer questions, and address any challenges they may encounter. Encourage learners to provide feedback on the learning path and make adjustments accordingly. By following these steps, you can leverage e-learning content and libraries to suggest customized learning paths and cater to any specific requirements they may have. Now, I know I covered off a lot of information over the last 25 slides. There's a lot to consume, but our website actually has some very cool tools for you to access. The Learning Hub is not a marketing-based tool. There's not a lot of discussion around specific topics. It's really an educational journey into a variety of different topics, including this one. And if you do want to learn more about some of the service providers that are out there, or if you're looking for an LMS, please reach out to one of our subject matter experts. So in our website, there's a quick link, and we'll get you situated with someone right away. So we are done with the presentation piece of this. I do want to remind everyone that there will be a survey coming out. Please fill that out. And we do have some time for some questions. I don't see a lot here. Did you see any, Susan?
Yeah, I have one question that came in. I'm going to paraphrase it because you kind of touched on it a little bit. It's a question about engagement. And engagement, of course, affects your ROI because you can pay a lot of money for courses, whether they're custom built or e-learning libraries. But if your learners aren't engaging, then of course that money is just kind of sitting there and not delivering a return on the investment. But I think you covered a lot of that in your last answer, talking about creating a culture of learning within your organization. Excuse me, making sure that learners are recognized and that they can see their path through a learning track in order to get to the end and achieve their goals. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but I think you kind of covered it off already.
Yeah, and you got to keep it exciting, I guess, at the end of the day. I mean, we've all gone through training or sat there and our eyes are trying to stay open. We know we got to push through it, but we don't retain a lot when it's not comprehensive or exciting to us. And we push ourselves through it. So making sure that the training is exciting, it's engaging, as well as it's relative to what they want to learn. It's extremely important.
Another question just popped in about, do you have courses on presentation skills?
Lots. There's lots of courses on how to present. I don't know if that was a shot at me or what.
I don't think so. I think it's something that many people, I know you and I take a lot of courses on how to present, that we're all trying to improve our skills all the time.
There's several. Actually capture that, and what I'll do is I'll send out a list of those courses that are available through several different providers, and you can have that information at your fingertips.
I'm making a note on that right now. And also another question is, so where do we find the pricing model? And I don't think there is one pricing model because every platform is going to be unique and different.
Yeah, they're all different. The concepts I went through, the two that I went through, are pretty standard, but you can get a variety of different pricing models. I'm certainly open to talking to you about, we work with two different, soon to be three different platforms, both with different pricing models, different content. Happy to walk you through that. I did share, I think I have this here. Yeah, so this is a pricing rate card that I talked to earlier. So again, 1,000 users, $90 a user, $9,000 US. So it does vary. And again, like anything else, these prices are negotiable. The other one, I think, not sure if I still have that up or not, was the per course, and this one. Yeah, so here's some ideas around that, but happy to talk to you about this after the presentation. If you want to give me a shout or shoot me an email, very happy to discuss that.
Yeah, there's a whole conversation that happens between our consultants and the various learning library platforms, because we want to make sure that you would get the right courses, the right number of courses for the right number of learners. So lots of variables in play, and the Neovation team is happy to be your concierge in facilitating that conversation. So
Yeah.
that's how we can help you best.
Okay. Are there any more questions, Susan?
Nothing else that's come in unless we can give it a
Give it a
3,
minute. So,
2, 1.
okay, excellent. I am going to say thank you to everyone. Really appreciate your time. Also want to remind you that there is a survey popping up as soon as we end this presentation. And I'd like to thank you all again. I know everyone's time is precious and valuable. I hope you've taken something out of this, and we really appreciate the feedback. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Cheers.
Bye.